Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into this really cool concept from our source material called Vibrational Stewardship. Now, that might sound a little fancy, right? But it's actually a super simple but really powerful idea that you can actively manage the energy field around you. So, let's get into it.
So let's just jump right in with a question that I'm guessing hits pretty close to home for a lot of us. Does it ever feel like you're just swimming in a sea of negativity? It's a real challenge for sure, and the source material we're looking at today offers a pretty unique and really proactive way to handle it.
So, the material we're digging into today gets right to the heart of this problem. It argues that the secret to staying positive isn't just about, forcing yourself to be happy. It's more about becoming a conscious manager of your own personal vibe, that energy you carry around and put out into the world.
Okay, so how exactly does this whole vibe thing work? Well, the core idea is pretty straightforward. Think of your personal energy like a magnet. It's constantly pulling things toward you, and it's all based on this universal principle that is always on, whether we're paying attention to it or not. This is what our source calls the law of attraction. And the key idea here is that your personal vibration attracts matching energy. The really important thing to get is that the universe isn't sitting there judging you. It's more like a cosmic matching service. Whatever energy you're putting out, it just sends more of that same stuff right back your way.
And this quote, wow, it really just nails it. The law is totally, completely impartial. It doesn't care if something is good for you or even if you consciously want it. It's just a mirror. It matches your vibration, period. And that's why learning how to manage that energy becomes so important.
All right, so if our vibe is this powerful magnet, how in the world do we get it under control? The source offers a strategy that's surprisingly direct and honestly, maybe even a little controversial for some. It's all about a strategy of, intentional avoidance.
And look, before you think this is about sticking your head in the sand and pretending problems don't exist, it's not. It's about becoming a conscious curator of your own experience. It's a really active choice about who and what you let into your mental and emotional space. That space is precious, right?
And this applies to so much more than you might think at first. We're talking about everything from consciously limiting your time with people who just drain you, to curating that news feed that leaves you feeling totally overwhelmed. It even gets down to things like the music you listen to or, get this, the clothes you wear. It's a whole life approach.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Actively avoiding people, certain topics, doesn't this all sound a little selfish? Well, the source totally sees that question coming. And our source has this really powerful way of reframing it. It basically says, hey, what you're calling selfish, that's actually essential self-care. The whole point isn't to be cold or to ignore the world, it's to keep your own energetic state healthy, so you can actually show up as the best version of yourself. This right here, this is the whole goal. Just think about it. Your energy is like a room. You can't bring in all this awesome new furniture if the room is already packed to the ceiling with junk you don't even want, right? By choosing to remove the negative, you're not creating a void. You're making space for the positive to rush in. But wait a second, this brings up a pretty good question. Are we just supposed to pretend bad stuff doesn't exist? Well, no, not exactly. In fact, our source brings up another universal law that explains why seeing a little bit of the negative is actually necessary. This is where something called the law of polarity comes into play. And the idea is super simple, really. Everything has an opposite, and you can't truly know one without having some kind of reference for the other. Understanding this is what makes the whole avoidance strategy work, without, living in denial. This chart lays it out perfectly, right? I mean, think about it. How could you possibly know what warm feels like if you've never felt cold, or up without down? It's the same thing with positive and negative. One gives meaning to the other. And that, right there, is the whole point of the negative. It's not a destination. It's not somewhere you set up camp. It's just a signpost. You see it, you go, oof, nope, not for me. And then you use that clarity to pivot hard toward what you do want. It's all about the contrast. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put all of these pieces together so we can use that negative contrast without getting stuck in it? This is where you really step into that role of being a vibrational steward. The source gives us this really simple 3-step process to follow. Step 1, when something negative pops up, just identify it. Acknowledge it, but don't wallow in it. Step 2, learn from it. Ask yourself, okay, what is this showing me that I do want instead? And step 3, and this is the most important part, you use that new clarity to intentionally shift your focus back onto the positive.
And that's really the heart of this whole thing, you know? Being a vibrational steward isn't about just passively hoping for good things to happen. It's an active, ongoing job. You're the curator. You're the bouncer at the door of your own energy. You get to decide what grows and what gets pulled.
So, as we wrap this up, let's leave you with a question to really think about. What's just one negative input in your life right now? Maybe it's a social media account you follow, a habit of complaining, or even a song that always brings you down. What's one thing you can let go of today to make a little more room for the good stuff?